Welcome back to Boruto Anime Review. This is episode 18. And this review, I'm reviewing episode 18 of the Naruto Next Generations series, The Day in the Life of the Uzumaki Family. Yep. Pretty much now I heard about this one basically of Iwambe suffering a cold and everybody thinking about basically the day Naruto became Hokage, which this episode kind of expands on that because the short itself is only about 10 minutes long, and the episode does take some footage from that particular short, but sort of expands on it. Like, things starts off actually differently than the actual short did, where it actually shows something that was shown in the credit sequence of the day Naruto became Hokage, of basically all of Naruto's friends basically bring him home after he spent basically night getting wasted, basically. And it's also the first time in this series we get a chance to see two characters who had not shown up in this series yet in this episode. One, of course, shows up in the flashback and in present day, and that's Choji. Yeah, Choji shows up in this episode, which, hey, I'm happy to see the guy. The other, of course, is probably by far the first and so far only appearance so far in the series of Kiba. Yep, Kiba makes his first ever appearance on the show. He's only on screen for maybe about 2 minutes, and that's it. Yeah, and and pretty much the whole flashback from that point forward plays out almost exactly like they were saying Hokage, but there's a little more expanding. It's like filling like little gaps, like because of some like minor jump cuts in the actual like cut here, cut there. Plus, also it's also showing something that the short did not show, which was Naruto open up his eyes to see Boruto jumping on him when he was laying on that couch. Yeah, and of course him doing the whole swirly eye thing. Yeah, and pretty much everything plays almost exactly the way it was before. Pretty much same. The only thing they did cut out of here was basically Hinata basically going to that seamstress. Yeah, they actually cut that out, which is actually in the actual short. Here they just have her just showing up, like going off to go get it, and then later on she shows up at the Hokage mount with the jacket. Though in the actual short they actually do show her actually picking it up. I don't know why they cut it out. My guess is they probably cut that particular portion for time purposes. But as far as I can tell, the one-shot day the day Naruto became Hokage, that is still canon. As far as I know, and plus it was adapted into the manga by Kishimoto himself. So there is a one-shot that does adapt that particular OVA, which out of all the OVAs, it's the only one that's canon. Yeah, it's the only one. The other ones, of course, just one-off spoofs, or whatever basically the thing comes up with. Though a couple of them basically easily kind of fit into canon in a very small little way. Okay. But after they pretty much get to Hiwan basically, where she activates Bakugan, chased from pretty much everything. Now, they do basically show what happens. Basically, they kind of show exactly what happened when she's about to confront Boruto. There's a bit added there where she basically goes in the closet where Boruto is, and apparently she doesn't see him, even though he was in plain sight. And apparently Boruto made a vow never to make her angry ever again. And then, of course, like not long right after that, Naruto shows up, and apparently, and this is so hilarious. Apparently his I don't know, his cape or whatever this thing is called. It's never really stated exactly what the thing is. Apparently it's inside out. I thought that was so hilarious. And then later on, basically when Huami's fever went down, basically Naruto and Boruto are arguing in the kitchen over what Huami wants. Basically, Boruto says she wants hamburger steak. And Naruto, she wants like rice patty thing, and basically Hinata gets so upset she kicks him out. She basically kicks him out of the house for the night, and they go someplace that I think a lot of people have wanted to see this place in the show, Ichio Ramen. Yep, where apparently it's no longer a small like mini shop like it was in the original series. It's actually a small restaurant now. It still has the same sitting bar thing like it did in the actual show, in the actual original show, and they even show flashbacks of basically Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke in their Part 1 attire. Heck, there's even a little flashback thing of basically Iruka being being there as well. And Naruto brings us up the fact that this is where him and Hinata went on their first date, which is actually referenced in the Sakura light novel. So, yeah, because it's referenced that basically Naruto and Hinata basically went to go get some Ichigo ramen as part of the first day, and this one actually just references that. So, yeah, it kind of references something that, well, happened in the light novels. So, hey, at least you got to praise the animators for actually remembering, hey, the light novels exist. People love light novels, so let's just do a small one-off reference to them, basically referencing their first date. And they're at the restaurant talking for a little while, and of course they show a poster of basically a movie that was shown a few episodes back during the Ghost arc of the whole actor guy basically being a superhero, and Boruto kind of somewhat denies the fact that he actually is a fan of the film. And then they're talking for a while, and then Choji and Chocho show up, and apparently they're having their monthly ramen eating contest. And they talk for a little while, and then they turn back to them, and apparently it's a tie, and it says it can't be the Legendary Queen. And who is Legendary Queen? Hinata, with 42 bowls. I'm like, okay. Eating 42 bowls, I think, oh, maybe she put on a little bit of weight. No, she's still remarkably still thin. Now, there's possibly one or two ways that Hinata has remained thin all these years. One, she actually works out. Probably keep her strength up. Because, well, technically, what she does, her job is just that she's a stay-at-home wife. I mean, I don't think Naruto demanded her do that, but yeah. I should point out, though, I thought it was so hilarious for the second time in the series, her basically getting angry at Boruto. I mean, the first time it was over him skipping school, and this time it was basically him and Naruto arguing so much that they're just so loud that they're trying to wake up Hiwabe. But, yeah. This episode, I've got to admit, this episode was actually kind of nice. Yeah, it was a nice episode. I mean, it's just focusing on the Uzumaki family, with, of course, Choji and Chocho showing up. Of course, they do reference Iwambi and Dekai, basically, where they're actually fans that filmed that little card thing that they show in there. And Naruto mentions, hey, I remember this place when it used to be a small shop, and the fact that I think the shop is run by Ruka's, Uruchima's, Ichigo's daughter, Ama, I think her name is. Yeah, I think she's the one who's actually running a shop. Now, it's not mentioned exactly what happened to him, Ichigo. Yeah, it's never mentioned exactly what happened to him. So, oh yeah, he's the founder of the restaurant, yes. And, of course, probably Naruto known for years. But it's never stated exactly what happened to him. Either he retired or he died. They don't say. It says, oh yeah, her father was basically the founder of the restaurant. Yeah, but at least they kept the name. And also, the doors are actually quite interesting, though, is that they're sliding doors like you usually see at something like a Walmart or a Kmart. I have never seen it where at a restaurant they have these. No, not necessarily. All the restaurants I've been to basically have normal pull-open doors. None of them I personally seen basically have done that. Yeah, nothing I could think of. The only time I could think of possibly something like that is if basically if an elevator goes to that, but this is just basically sliding doors. I mean, like automatic sliding doors like you usually see in a shopping mart, in basically a place like Kmart or Walmart or any kind of store has automatic doors. But restaurants don't necessarily have those. I kind of call into question exactly how in the world is this possible when even in the real world, basically, restaurants don't normally have those. Not the ones I've been to anyways. They basically just regular, like, pull open doors with handles. But, yeah. But, no, the episode 9 was kind of fun as well. but reminiscing about Naruto when he was younger, basically seeing him as Part One attire, it's probably a little fan service for people who are longtime fans of the Naruto franchise. I guess that's the whole reason for this episode. People who like Part One, so why not throw some references to it? And seeing Sasuke in his Part One attire is actually quite interesting because he hasn't worn that since, well, in real life, since he left to go with Orochimaru. Sakura hasn't worn her Part 1 attire since, well, let's just say the end of the original anime series, which in the manga, basically, the last time she's shown wearing it was in chapter 220. That was the last time she was shown wearing it. And it was also the last time that Naruto wore his Part 1 attire. Mm-hmm. Though they don't show Kakashi, that I think there's a reference to him in that during that particular scene, that they threw an offhand reference to him, like, oh yeah, well, Lord Six basically references, and basically Kakashi, oh yeah, Kakashi does show up in the episode, but in a flashback basically to the episode, and Konohamaru's in there in the flashback as well, and yeah, and it's shown that basically that how in the world of Naruto, it actually kind of explains how basically how, like, I'm sure a lot of people are confused, like, how can Naruto be there even though he's unconscious back at his house? Simple. Konohamaru used the transformation jutsu. I'm like, okay, that's a very plausible explanation. That's as far as I can tell. Yeah. So they had Konohamaru pose as him because, well, Naruto was unconscious back at his house. And not because he was drunk. Oh no, because his daughter knocked him out. With a chakra point. Yeah, he had chakra point. And it was just by pure accident that she knocked him out. Heck, they even showed the funny image of Kurama basically just doing the whole swirly eye thing like Naruto when he got hit by it. Because, well, the place that Hawabe hit, it was the place that Kurama was kept, basically, where it was the spot where Kurama is in Naruto's body. But one thing also really neat about this episode is, well, during the flashback, you get a chance to see Hawabe using the Byakugan, basically seeing Boruto's chakra. Though it's never shown exactly if Hinata ever actually stopped her daughter. Nope, they just stop it right there, and then of course the episode kind of ends basically. Hinata basically flashback like right afterwards, like, okay, now since Naruto became Hokage, now he has a huge family to take care of, not just his own. And Hinata basically just very happy with him that he's achieved his dream to become Hokage, and now he's got a whole family he has to cherish now. And of course, it's a reference to the Hokage Summit, the 5 Kage Summit, that's what happened toward the end of the episode. Which, and this is just a theory, maybe that kind of leads into chapter 700. I don't know. It's just a theory. That's just my personal guess. I don't think that the animators have any plans to adapt chapter 700. No, I don't think so. There is by far no plans I've heard of basically to adapt it. But the next episode looks very promising. It's an episode that starts off an arc that people have wanted to see for some time to get adapted, and that's a Naruto Gaiden 10-chapter manga. Yep, people wanted to see this thing adapted, and next episode, it is being adapted. Yep. So, next episode is called Sadari Chia. So, yeah. So, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned next week for episode 19, Sadari Chia. Okay? But until then, I will see you there. Bye.